Hi, I'm Dave Bonello.
And I'm Dave Mertz. Today we'd like to give you a comprehensive overview of what it would take to prepare a site and set a simplex modular home. Although this video isn't all-inclusive, we feel by the end of the video you'll have a very good understanding of what it would take to prepare for one of our homes and set it successfully.
So it all starts with an empty building lot. A few days back, we excavated for our precast foundation system. The boxes were delivered to the site and the set crew came and placed them onto the foundation. Let's go and take a look at how that all worked out. So now here we are on the job site the day before the set, and there's a lot of important things to talk about for preparation of the delivery of the module and for getting ready to have the crane arrive and the additional boxes that will come here tomorrow and be set onto the foundation. And as you see behind us, we have a box over here, to our left I should say. We have a box over here that's already been staged in advance and getting ready for the set for tomorrow.
So the overall idea of today is to give you a picture of the site and what is needed to prepare to bring a house in and bring the crane in. And as Dave said, we staged one modular here already, one box. You'll hear us call it a couple different things, but we also have a space prepared for the crane. So the crane has adequate room to set up and pick and move the box onto the foundation.
And adequately, a crane recommended size is about 35 foot by 35 foot square pad for the crane. And that's really necessary because of the outriggers that are on the crane. The crane itself is probably about 35 feet long, and then the width of the crane when the outriggers are out will be about 35 feet. So ultimately, that's the recommended size pad that you're going to need in the front. And sometimes that can be challenging in smaller job sites, may even require you to set from a different position. Tomorrow's set, we're going to be setting from the long wall in the center of the long wall, which from that point, it minimizes the amount of outreach we need on the crane. As we get into tighter lots and different conditions, sometimes we have to move to the gable end here. And when we move to the gable end, a lot of times it requires you to boom out further, which in turn may require you to have a larger size crane.
The key thing on set day is to move as quickly and efficiently as possible because there's always variables. For instance, the weather. You want to get the house from the carrier onto the wall, the foundation, and sealed up and weather tight as quickly as possible. The other thing is pure economics. You don't want the crane here at the site any longer than you need it to because it's an additional cost. So that's why this box is staged here today, and then tomorrow the other boxes will be brought in a steady flow and prepped and picked and set on the wall in order to get the house weather tight and the crane removed from the site as quickly as possible so you don't incur additional costs.
Well, and I think an important thing is to talk about staging. So not every job site's going to allow you to be able to stage the boxes there the day of delivery. So what happens in a lot of cases is we have an off-site area that the boxes are staged in, and then the day of the set, it's going to require you to have a truck available that can transport the units from the staging area here to the site. And then another important item on the site will be how you move the boxes around on the site. And that's generally either going to be a truck. Again, you'll have to rent a truck for the day, and that truck will have to move the boxes around on site, or you'll have to get a piece of heavy equipment that has the adequate towing equipment to be able to move the boxes around on site the day of the set.
One additional comment in regard to the set is you never really want to plan to bring the boxes to the site the same day that you're setting. There's just too many variables. You can run into traffic situations, especially in the summertime, road construction that could delay the delivery of the house while you have a crane sitting here waiting to pick the box. So in the best case scenario, you want at least one of the boxes sitting here. In a perfect world, you'd have them all here, be ready to set the day that the crane is here and the day that the house is going to be set.
Yeah, Dave, I have to agree with you. Time is money, and keeping the crew moving at all times and the flow of the crane operating at all times is really, it can be detrimental to the cost if you don't keep the procedure moving forward. As we move forward in this, we'll talk a little bit about the foundation system that is behind us. And you can see here, it's a superior wall system. Again, the foundation system for a modular isn't very different from traditional site-built construction. The hole, you're still excavating a hole like you would in normal traditional construction. And as you can see here, the foundation came in earlier this week what we did that's a little unique here, it's a walkout basement, and the builder elected to frame the back wall as opposed to bringing in a masonry wall system. So to help cut down on costs, they framed the wall the day after the units were brought in via Superior Wall System delivery system. Now, the difference here that a lot of times in traditional construction, you'll have just basic steel column supports that go anywhere from 5 to 7 or 8 feet apart depending on the roof system. This particular condition here, we've elected to go with a framed wall system, a 2x10 framed wall system that allows us to eliminate the steel columns, and in turn, in the center of the foundation system, we're eliminating the column supports and the wall support by adding in a steel beam. And if you look over to my right here, you'll see that we brought in an 10-inch steel beam that will be placed into the wall system the morning of the set by the set crew.
There's a few other small but key differences between preparing a foundation for a modular home versus a traditional site-built home. First of all, you can see on the sill plate here, there's metal straps that have been nailed into the sill plate. That's part of the fastening system for the modular to the foundation. After the modular is set on there, they'll pull those straps up and nail those to the perimeter bands of the module to secure the house to the foundation. The other thing, if you're not familiar with Superior Walls, you can look across the front of the wall system here, and they have ledgers built into the concrete. They're for future masonry work. And really last, Dave, is the backfilling procedure.
Right, and generally what will happen here is tomorrow we'll set the units onto the foundation, and once the units are on the foundation, the next process will be the masons come in, pour the floor system, and once the masons come in and pour the floor system, we'll start to backfill the wall. The weight of the house will support the wall system so it won't move, and the floor system itself will lock it in so it can't push into the house when you're compacting the backfill as you're bringing it up in equal lifts.
Another important thing to consider when the home arrives to the site is the visual inspection of the units. And I'm talking the interior and the exterior. Right now, I'm just going to address the exterior inspection of the home. And it's important because you want to make sure that no damage incurred during the transportation of the home. And the reason I say that is when you leave the highway and you come down secondary roads, you can hit branches and things like that, which is not uncommon. So we request with our truck driver when he arrives with the home that you do a visual inspection on the home. And it's a very simple procedure. You simply walk around the home with the driver and you look at the windows, the doors, the siding, and the plastic to make sure that there's no visible damage to that. And what it really does is helps eliminate any potential problems further on down after the home is set, and you can receive the home knowing that it is in the shape that you expected it to be when it arrived.
Just as Dave had highlighted on your exterior walkthrough, the interior is also an important area of the unit to have a walkthrough done upon arrival of the boxes onto the job site. First thing you should look for when the boxes are being inspected is for any visual damage. That could be anything as simple as a cabinet door swinging open, a piece of material moving and getting damaged, any type of damage to any of the flooring, countertops, anything like that. That's something that should be inspected and put on the delivery check sheet. As you see here, the ship loose materials that are in the home are in place for things like sheathing on the exterior walls. There's a door here that'll be used on the marriage wall once the units are put together. The siding, drywall, stair materials, insulation for between the boxes when the units are set. All of these materials are on a delivery check sheet. They should be inventoried at the time of arrival, and in the event smaller items that can't be seen upon delivery, we would ask that within 48 hours you report any noticeable missing items or damaged items that may have taken place during delivery. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful.
And if you'd like more information about our homes, please feel free to contact us.